Ramana Pristaya Bhutale Rupanuga Bhaktidam Cha Kripamurti Narayanam Seva Kunje Braje Ramye Govardhane Giro Sada Radha Kunde Rasanande Tat Tat Seva Pradayakam Gurum Narayanakyam Tam Vande Vinoda Pristakam Yat Pada Smriti Matrena Damodara Prasidhati Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayine Kalo Kalamasana Saya Janava Pataye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Bhajami Radha Maravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhura Smitasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Bharadram Tato Mamanyasti Gatirna Kati Tavevasmi Najivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvam Nayamam Charanantike Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Bola Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Deva ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Samasta Rupanuga Guru Varga ki
Jai.
Sarva Santan Hari Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Samasta Brajavasi Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaura Premanande
Hari Hari Bol.
So we are here in Bhaktivinoda Dham, Shri Gurudev's ashram in New York. And we have many duties to perform for the pleasure and the service of Shri Guru Maharaj, but our primary duty, our primary responsibility, our primary service to Shri Guru is to endeavor to our utmost best to develop the mood in his heart, pray for it to reflect in our hearts. To do that, we must become students of Prem. Krishna himself is a student of Prem. Srimati Radhika's Prem, her supremely exalted love. So if we want to please Krishna, we should also become his follower. If we want to become Krishna's follower, then we must become a student of Prem like Sri Krishna. Radhikara Prema Guru Amishishyanat Sada Amanana Nritya Nachaya Udvat. This is Krishna himself speaking this verse. And so I want to make this the subject of the talk tonight. I was speaking with Prabhuji more deeply about the appearance of Thakurji, and there are many pastimes related to Sri Vigraha. There are infinite pastimes. Thakurji is, providing their darshan as a window to the spiritual world, if they're in unlimitedly variegated pastimes. But one particular mood through which we can enter that they show us. That's the mood of Sri Krishna as the beggar of Prem, the beggar of Srimati Radhika's love. He is there begging, Radhika, please give me your love. How exalted and glorious is your love. And she is very mercifully bestowing it. And in her bestowal of her love, what is she giving? Radha bhave dyuti suvalitam nomi gaura swarupam. When Krishna is begging for prem, Radharani is bestowing. With one hand she is bestowing mercy to the jivas, to her aspiring palyadasis. With one hand she is giving Krishna prem. We all talk about Krishna prem, wanting love for Krishna, but Krishna is asking for prem. So Radhika is giving Krishna prem. This is the prem that we are aspiring for. That love in the heart of Srimati Radhika for Krishna. It is her property. She has exclusive rights to it because she has it in the utmost perfection. She is the Rasa Bandari, the storekeeper of Ras, which is love for Sri Krishna. So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 4, text 122 to 135, I believe. Sri Krishna himself actually is speaking. And he talks about his reason. Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is explaining Krishna's reason for Advent. His Advent as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And so, tonight we'll talk about the first reason. Why Sri Krishna wanted to appear again. For what reason? And why he had to become a beggar of prem from Radharani. And how she bestowed her prem, and then Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Nomi Gaura Swarupam. Sri Krishna became Gauranga Mahaprabhu. With Radha Bhav, the mood of love of Srimati Radhika, Dyuti, and her effulgence. So Krishna, in this chapter, has described all the glories of the devotees, the Braja Gopis, and ultimately Srimati Radhika. Mahabhava Surupatam Shiradha Thakurani Sarva Gunakani Sarva Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Mahabhava Swarupa, she is the very embodiment of ecstatic love. Her entire form is composed of that Mahabhav. And she alone experiences the topmost limit of prem, which is Madanakya Mahabhav, which not even the other gopis experience. So Krishna becomes completely surrendered, Sharanagat, to the love of Srimati Radhika. Krishna says that although I am Raso Vaishaha, the reservoir of all loving mellows, still, seeing the love of Srimati Radhika, I am completely spellbound and astonished. I surrender to her love. In the beginning of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami writes, Akila Rasamrita Murti Prashrimara Ruchi Ruda Taraka Pali Kalita Shyama Lalito Radha Prayan Vidur Jayati. Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean of complete transcendental nectarian mellows of love. All kinds of love stem from that ocean of love, of all kinds of relationships, of all kinds of sweetness and friendship, that is Sri Krishna. Akila Rasamrita, it means absolutely complete. Akila Rasamrita Murti, he is the form of that. And it's described how he has many beloveds, but ultimately they are all manifestations of the love of Srimati Radhika. They are not any separate entity. Radha Prayan Vidur Jayati. The first verse ends with this: glories to Srimati Radhika, victory to Srimati Radhika. Krishna is like the full moon, Vrindavan Chandra. But Srimati Radhika, she is the star that is closest to the moon. It is always with the moon. Without whom the moon of Sri Krishna feels like he has no life. And all the other stars are only there to serve and glorify the love of Sri Radha and Sri Krishna and exalt it. So even Chandravali is only there to enhance the sweetness of the meeting of Radha Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna is ever with Chandravali, he's only thinking of Radha. And he's only there to help because Radhika likes to display her Vamyata mood, her contrary mood. And so Krishna begins to speak. Even though I am Rasavaisha, all beings are attracted to me. What is that special quality of Srimati Radhika's love that drives me mad? That unparalleled love. We should not think it's like a sentimental thing or like some kind of desire. It's astonishment at the glory of her exalted prem, which is unparalleled. Krishna says, even though I have so much love, Srimati Radhika's love is tens of millions of times more great. And it has captured my heart completely. Even though all living entities are attracted to me, I'm completely spellbound and attracted by her love. And then Krishna gives this verse. Radhikara prema guru amishishyanat shada amananda nritya nachaya yudvat. Radhika's prem is my guru. So if we want to be Krishna's follower, we have to follow his example. He says Radhika's prem is my guru. Her love is my supreme teacher. And her love is making me dance in newer and newer ways. Nachaya udbhat. Sada amanana nitya. I'm always dancing to the tune, or you could say to the rhythm of her love. And it's causing me to dance in ever new ways. And then Krishna, as Kaviraj Goswami writes, Krishna remembers and he's thinking of this pastime. So I said in Kartik month, every day we'll try to learn a new pastime. And we were talking this morning in our meeting how we want to have like a spiritual buddy system. Where we look out for each other, Malini and Nanda, Tirtha Vrindavan, me and Prem. And I'll also check in and make sure are we chanting our japa? This is our first Guru Seva. Are we chanting japa every day? What is our Sankhya Purvak Nam? Whatever it is, according to what you can do. But every day, Sankhya Purvak Nam. And at that time, we should remind each other, what pastime am I trying to keep in my heart today? You can memorize 50 pastimes, but at least try to do one. At the end of the month, you should know 30 pastimes. So when you're chanting, you can remember a pastime. It's very simple, short form. And gradually, as you meditate on this pastime, all the different profound realizations can come, but also all the details can automatically be realized in the heart. So you meditate Nama, Rupa, Gun, and Lila. This is our sadhana, this is our seva. This is our spiritual health, this is our spiritual relationship, this is our purpose, this is everything. Then that can nourish and feed all other aspects of our life. And so Krishna is remembering this pastime when Radharani is actually speaking to her Sakhi Brinda Devi. Radharani sees Brinda Devi coming from the direction of Radha Kunj. She's in Vrindavan Dham. And Radharani sees that Brinda Devi is in a very deep, sweet mood. She's not just, she's very deep but very jubilant. She's very happy. And seeing Brinda Devi so happy, Radharani asks, "Oh Brinde, where are you coming from? Why are you so happy?" Brinda Devi says, "Oh, I've just come from Radha Kund." "Oh, what did you see there?" "I saw Sri Krishna." "What was he doing?" Radharani asks. "He was alone, but he was dancing. I've seen him dance on Kaliya. I've seen him dance in the Ras Leela. I've seen him dance for the gopis. The gopis, they the mothers especially, they give Krishna ladus. They say, if you dance for us, newer dances, we'll give you a ladu for each new dance. And so Krishna's been practicing dancing since he was like 2 years old, 3 years old. And he wanted to show his expertise in his practice of dance in Kaliya. And the gopis had this Purva Rag for Krishna, and he said, I've been practicing since I was a baby. All the mothers have been saying, oh, dance for me, Krishna. And he'll dance, and then they'll give him ladus. And they count how many ladus they have to give him by putting cow dung gopi dats. So as Krishna dances, each new dance, oh, here's a new gopi dat. And they use cow dung and give gopi dats. And at the end, Krishna says, give me 12 ladus. And so Krishna's been practicing dancing since he was a boy. But Brinda Devi said, I saw him dancing in such an amazing way. It looked like he was alone, but he wasn't alone. Radharani said, oh yes, really? How was he dancing? She said, it's very difficult to describe. Like if you see all different kinds of very gentle creepers. Dhira samire Jamuna tire basati vane vanamadi. When the wind in Braj is blowing as a gentle breeze, and the creepers in Vrindavan start to gracefully sway, as if they're doing ulu ulu ulu. They're very gracefully glorifying Shri Radha Krishna's pastimes by this kind of dancing movement. So Krishna's there and he's dancing like these creepers, but there's different kinds. When the wind blows. And so Krishna's there. Brinda Devi said he's dancing. It looks like he's practicing some kind of dance, but he's in such an absorbed mood. Gopis were coming, but Krishna was so focused, he couldn't see anything. Generally, Krishna is very chanchal, restless, always running here and there. Bino payodhara. He's always moving here and there, trying to meet with the gopis. But now Krishna's stita, fixed. No distraction. What time is it? Do the cows need to go home? The calves need to go home? The Saka's looking for me. The gopi is looking for me. Where's Radharani? Only one pointed focus in his practice of his art. So Vrinda Devi said, he's dancing in front of all the creepers in the trees and moving all around Radha Kund, as if in a trance. Why is he like this? Alone? Vrinda Devi said, no, he's not alone. In every creeper, in every leaf, in every branch, he only sees you, your reflection. Your reflection is in every creeper, in every branch, in every leaf. This is Radha Kund. When we go to Radha Kund, we should not think anything is ordinary. Even the trees around Radha Kund. Shrimati Radhika's chabi means her darshan, her painting. Her face is present. We hear many pastimes of people who are so deeply absorbed in bhajan, but Shrimati Radhika herself can give their darshan. They say that at Radha Kund, you submerge yourself in the water of Radha Kund and 108 times chant Kripa Kataksha Bhajan, the song. With a deep mood of prayer, Shrimati Radhika can give you her darshan. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he received Radhika's darshan at Radha Kund because of his very deep vow. If I don't get her mercy, I will give up my life. And therefore she revealed herself to him when he was praying for understanding the Kam Gayatri. As we were speaking the other day, what is Kam Gayatri? This is Shrimati Radhika's Ananga Prachodayat. This is Sri Krishna, but it's also Sri Radha. When Gurudev describes Kam Gayatri, he describes the scene of Shrimati Radhika with Krishna surrounded by their Sakhis, like we see here. So we can think this is a glimpse into Kam Gayatri. How fortunate we are. Therefore, that's why I say Hari Katha should be Hari Kirtan, Kartik Bhajan. This is a sacred space because we're trying to. This is like we're performing our Gayatri, our mantra in elaborate, expanded, manifest form, deriving from the root kling. So this kling is described to be the meeting of Radha and Krishna. It's the root beach which describes the chumban of Shri Radha and Krishna. And in Jiva Goswami describes in his Gayatri Mantrartha Dipika. Gayatri Mantrartha Dipika is a book compiling all different commentaries on the Gayatri. Jiva Goswami describes that Kam Gayatri begins in Braj, in the Aprakrit Dham, the transcendental realm, where Shri Radha and Krishna are seated on a jeweled singhasan, surrounded by their Sakhis, Lalita, Vishaka, Ruprati, Champaklata, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Tungavidya, Induleka, and Sugita Nartane Shabashaki Gane Tusi Cheju Khaladhana. All the Sakhis, what are they doing? They're all in dancing poses. They're not standing straight and very serious. They're all in dancing poses, like Kunj Kirtan painting by Shamarani Mataji. Everyone is in motion. The spiritual world is in motion. Everything is moving to the tune of Srimati Radhika's love, the rhythm of Srimati Radhika's prema. So all the gopis, they're also dancing. And they're singing. Sugita nartane shabashaki gane tusiche jughaladhan. For the pleasure of their beloved Shri Radha Krishna, the divine couple, they're playing musical instruments and singing. That's why Kirtan is such an exalted thing, because it's a service to the supreme transcendental service. That the Sakhis are glorifying their beloved Shri Radha Krishna. And that scene is where Kam Gayatri manifests. And then from there, Kam Gayatri pierces the material covering of the universe from that transcendental realm, the condensed mercy of the Lord, the original call of divine love. From that realm, emanating from the flute of Krishna, when he plays on his flute, he's playing of that mood, of that scene, of that moment where they are all glorifying the love of Srimati Radhika. Radhe Jaya Jaya, Madhava Daite, Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. It enters into this universe, and for the benefit of all sadhakas and all living entities, it appears as the Brahma Gayatri. And by taking shelter of Brahma Gayatri and chanting and performing deep bhajan, then we can transcend this world and enter into that realm and see the manifest form of this Kam Gayatri in the sidelong glance of Srimati Radhika. And in the sidelong glance of Sri Krishna, the playing of Sri Krishna's beautiful flute, Bansi, clean. This is Sri Krishna and Sri Radha. So therefore, this is a very exalted thing, and we should not take it cheaply. If we want to get the highest thing, we must pay the highest price. Complete surrender. Manasa deho geho, jo kichu mor, arpiya tuva pari nanda kishore. I'm offering everything to you. There's nothing that I cannot give. There's nothing that I can give that is even a drop of the value by which I can attain that priceless thing. What do I possess? Only anarthas. What can I give to you? Only myself. That is pure. That has a pure spiritual form that I need to awaken. And I can offer that to you. So therefore we don't want to achieve liberation for ourselves. We want to achieve liberation so that our pure spiritual form can appear to serve Krishna. Because in this form, we can serve to some extent, but not completely. Therefore, the gopis who could not go to the rasa dance gave up their form and appeared there in a spiritual form at once, even before the other gopis arrived there. The Sadha and Siddha gopis arrived. So therefore, we want to achieve a pure spiritual form. And therefore, we have to give ourselves wholly to Sri Krishna and Sri Radha and become his follower. Radhikara prema guru ami shishyanat sada ama nana nitya nache vibhat. Radhika's prema is my guru. Those who have any kind of oppositional mood towards Srimati Radhika, Krishna will never completely be happy with them. He may give them bhukti mukti, but he will not give them brajabas. Only those who take shelter of Srimati Radhika, who have faith in her, whatever position she desires to grant us, in any form in Braj. That is their desire, and that is in my Atma, whatever is meant to come. One thing I forgot to mention the other night, we were reading Gurudev's class, we were talking about it. Gurudev said that don't be hopeless, and you should know that the fact that you are here in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya with me now means you must have that potentiality of that highest thing. Otherwise, why would you be here hearing this katha? You could be in Ramanuja Sampradaya, Madhva Sampradaya, Vishnu Sampradaya, in Christianity and Buddhism, in any other religion which has some destination, good, but does not have Radha Dasyam. And so you are here now. So he said, if you have desire to be here and here, you should have the faith that, oh, I can achieve that service. And my Guru is ready to grant that to me when I'm ready. I remember my sister told this very sweet story in New Braj. When Gurudev, Gurudev was speaking very nice Katha. Oh, Gurudev, sometimes, we're difficult in spiritual life and there may be some doubt, but how do we really know, we are meant to be Srimati Radhika's maidservant. How do we know? Gurudev said, it is written on your heart. And I can see that. Therefore, I'm telling you, you should have faith in me. So therefore, then Krishna continues. Brinda Devi is speaking with Radhika, and Krishna is trying to express his heart, why he wants to appear as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why does Krishna have to come again? Why does he need a sequel? He is God. He doesn't need a sequel. Why does he come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Therefore, Krishna says, why am I dancing to the tune and the rhythm of Srimati Radhika's love, seeing her reflection everywhere I look? This is Uttam Bhav. The Uttam Adhikari sees, everywhere he looks, he sees his Bhav Darshan. Any beautiful person only gives him spurti of the original beautiful forms of the Braja Gopis and Sri Krishna. He always has spurti. Nija Ishtadeva spurti. That's the symptom of the Uttam Adhikari, topmost devotee. Narad Muni, in the garden of Kuvera, even seeing them performing mundane activities, only had the topmost darshan. He could not see anything mundane. Wherever he looked, only Nija Ishtadev Spurti. So Krishna also is like that. Wherever he looks, in any gopi, he sees only reflection of Srimati Radhika's love. Therefore, Krishna is supremely faithful. Even though he has to perform the pastime, and he has this mood of parakiya. But ultimately, there's only one love, the love of Shri Radha and Krishna for each other. And so Krishna then describes that why did he choose to come again? The first internal reason. And he describes the love of Srimati Radhika. He says that even though my love is so great, her love is millions of times greater. And the pleasure she relishes in her love for me is millions of times greater than that which I relish. And so he becomes inquisitive. This is the start of spiritual life. Atato Brahma Jigyasaha. First aphorism, Vedanta Sutra. Krishna has developed Jigyasa. Tato Brahma, the Supreme Absolute Truth, is inquiring, has developed curiosity. Shiradhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidri Sovanayaiva. What is the glory of Srimati Radhika's love that I myself, the Supreme Absolute Truth, cannot comprehend? We are trying to understand the Absolute, but the Absolute is trying to understand absolute love. Srimati Radhika's love. So Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Therefore we should become Krishna's follower. If you want to understand Vedanta, those who know Brahma, the absolute truth, you should inquire from them. Tad Vigyanartam Sagurum Evigabhigachit. The Upanishads state, take shelter of Guru, but who? Brahmani Upasamashrayam, who understand the absolute truth to the full extent. If you want to understand God completely, take shelter of those who know Him completely. And who knows Him completely? Srimati Radhika and her maidservants. They understand Krishna to the utmost extent. That even Krishna cannot understand. And he has to take their shelter to understand that. So Krishna says Srimati Radhika's love is all pervasive. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 4. It's all pervasive. And yet, it's ever increasing. I remember I posted once, some years ago, this statement that we hear from Vaishnavas, Vyapnoti iti Vishnu. What is the definition of Vishnu? He who is all pervasive. So who is Vishnu? There is Narayan and there is Narayani. Narayan is he who is always absorbed in Narayani. Krishna is he who is always absorbed in Radha. Therefore, who is all pervasive? Krishna or Radha? Wherever Krishna is, he's thinking of Radha. Therefore, Radhika is Vyapnotiti, all present. Her love, Krishna says, is all pervading. So it has taken up all space. That's the meaning of all pervading. Wherever there is any space, Radhika's love is there. Radhika's love is all pervading. And yet the astonishing thing is that it's always expanding in ever fresh, newer and newer ways. So even all these things Krishna is describing, it's as if he cannot fully understand or comprehend, but he's just trying to give some analogies for us to be able to start to grasp the glory of her love. He says, Srimati Radhika's love is the greatest thing. It's the highest thing. And yet, she doesn't have a scent of pride. Generally in this world, when anyone has some great quality, they're very proud. And they know it, and they want to show it. But Srimati Radhika has so much love, but what is her mood? Na prema gandosti dharapi. I don't even have the slightest scent of love. And this is the mood Krishna wanted to come and taste. The mood of the devotee. That, oh, I'm so fallen and wretched. Even though they have the most exalted prema. Srimati Radhika shows that if we want to be Trinadapi Sunichena, where they would say, we can be Trinadapi Sunichena to some extent. But as our love increases, our humility will increase. The higher our love goes, the more humble we become. I remember asking Vaishnav many years, like 2006, 2005, maybe it's better to just be very ignorant and very foolish, not know anything, no sloka, nothing. We should be, because then we can stay humble. He said, even an ant who can't do anything is very proud. And he wants to show, did I move a bigger piece of straw than the other guy? And he's always in this competitive mood. So he says, lack of quality is not the way to become humble. Chaitanya Bhagavat says, a tree full of fruits bows down. And so Srimati Radhika, who is full of all transcendental qualities, she is the most humble. And the most important quality is her love. Therefore, it's described that all qualities may be there, but if there's not the mood of real bhakti, then all those qualities are like ornaments on a corpse. Therefore, our first Guru Seva is developing the mood of our Guru. What is his mood? And serve that mood and try to imbibe that mood. And then all of our duties in spiritual life become meaningful. Therefore, Brahma Muhurta, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Praying, meditating on being at the lotus feet of Gurudev and praying, what is his mood? How can I develop his mood? Koro More, Atma Sad, O Gurudev, make me one with your heart. Gurudev Atma. Gurudev, I am full of fear in this world, Bhayam Dvitiya Vinivesh, because I've turned away from my real life, my real meaning. Therefore, O Gurudev, please make my heart one with yours, and then I can come to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. And so Krishna says that Radhika's love is all pervading, yet it ever expands. And even though it's the greatest thing, she is the most humble. And yet it's even more astonishing that her love always appears in crooked manners. Vamya Bhav. It's always crooked. Like the waving creepers, the dancing creepers at Radha Kunj. They're not in a straight line. They're always swaying and dancing. So Srimati Radhika's love is always crooked. So desiring to understand that glory of her love, Shri Krishna Purla Sachinandan Gaur Hari, taking shelter of Srimati Radhika and begging for her prem. Oh Radhe, please give me your prem. Radhe, what is your love? And very sweetly, with you could say, a very sweet, charming smile. With so many moods inside of her smile. It's not one mood. There's so many moods in her smile. She's giving her blessing. That's why when we saw on Abhishek Day, Krishna is there, so beautiful, so charming, but his beauty is because of his desire to understand the glory of her love. And so he is showing that ultimately now the stage is for Srimati Radhika. So many people are worshipping me as God, in many names, in many forms. Everyone is worshipping me. I am Bhoktaram Jagatapasam. All the devas, whoever you worship, only I can give you the fruit. I am Anadi Adi Govinda. I am Aham Aivasam Vivagre. Everything comes from me. Everyone is worshipping me. But now it's time to understand who I am worshipping and to take shelter of her. If you want to approach me, truly. If you want to be with some secondary form of mine, you can worship me directly, no problem. But if you want to understand my original form, Anadi Adi Govinda, Sarvakarna Karnan, then take shelter of Srimati Radhika. Take shelter of her dasis. So this is the first internal reason for Mahaprabhu's descent. Tomorrow we'll speak about the second. But now I'll just tell one pastime and we can try to remember this pastime. We may already know it, but it's a very sweet pastime. Gurudev was speaking at Mansarovar in Kartik. And he talked about Srimati Radhika's man, how in this contrary mood of her love, she left the rasa dance, seeing that Krishna was dancing with all the gopis as if equally. And the other gopis were thinking, oh, I am most beloved of Krishna. I am so fortunate. Sobhagyamad, the intoxication of their good fortune, rose in their heart and they were not humble. So if you really want to be with Krishna, it said, Ye anye aravindaksha vimuktamaninas tvayasta bhavat avishuddha buddhaya aruya kritchena parampadam tata patantyaro nadrita yushmat angrayaha. Great liberated souls, or approaching liberation, great souls are there and they think, I am so advanced, I'm so qualified, I'm Brahmagyani. I can give blessings to others, they can take my remnants, they can touch my feet, drink my footbath water, I am so great. I am advanced devotee. Nija Ushtistabri Dhan. It said that, oh, Amito Vaishnav. When I think I am a Vaishnav, E Buddhi Hoile, I become fallen. Ye Anye Arvindaksha Vimuktamanyas. We think I am as if liberated. But if we have not really achieved the nectar of the lotus feet of Shri Radha and Shri Krishna, and we have that prideful mood, we'll be bound to fall down. So therefore Krishna left also the rasa dance so that the gopis could develop humility. Because they were intoxicated with the pride of their good fortune. Sadhan Siddha, Shruti Chari, Smriti Chari, Upanasad Chari, Veda Chari. For millions of lifetimes they were aspiring for the direct association of Krishna. And then they appeared as gopis and performed sadhana and got to dance with Krishna. They thought, I am so exalted. And so then Srimati Radhika, for their own benefit, disappeared from the rasa dance and exhibited Man. From Prem Gali, Man Gali, Guman Gali, she went to Man Sarovar and performed Man. So Gurudev told this pastime of her Man Lila, sulky mood. And Krishna, what did he do? Krishna sat in the grove. He thought, oh no. There were many pastimes around Ras Lila. Many different Basanti Ras, Saradiya Ras. Ras is every night. So there are many pastimes related to Ras. Vaishnavas describe that Krishna cannot able to find, sometimes the gopis search for Krishna. Sometimes Krishna searches for Radha. There are many pastimes around that. And so when Krishna is searching for Srimati Radhika, she's hiding. And he cannot find her, so Krishna sits down and he begins to chant Radha mantras. And this is the mantra that Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Goswami Maharaj instructed Prabhuji to chant and memorize in one day. It's like 40, I don't know if it's in here. Prem Sutra Satyakya. It's one of the many things I memorized and forgot because of bad habit. You memorize it, then you forget it. Brahma Sanghita, Gopi Geet, Nishringa Kavacha, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. But if you don't practice it, that's why it takes japa. Chant, remember, practice. Practice, practice, repeat, repeat, then you keep it in your heart. Not just once, continuously. Every Ekadashi, we should revise all the slokas we know if we want to keep them with us. So Krishna sat down, Prem Sudha Satyakya, and began to chant all the names of Radharani. And this is described by Tunga Vidya Saki and Vishaka Saki. How Krishna is sitting there and he's chanting, "Oh Radhe, why do you have so much man?" Just hear Krishna is in such a, Gurudev would say, pathetic mood. Pathetic. And he's sitting and he's with great focus, closing his eyes, chanting, chanting. Why? Purnamasi gave him these mantras. If Radharani is in man, and you can't solve it and you can't find her, sit and chant Radhanam. Radhanam Parama Sukadai. Krishna follows this song. Radhanam gives the supreme happiness. Radhanam is the highest thing. So that's why in Vrindavan, everywhere is Radhe, 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 Radhe. This is Krishna's desire. Vrindavan is Krishna. Vrindavan Chandra Krishna. So he arranges that Radhe, Radhe is everywhere. On every tree. Showing that Krishna, every tree has Radhe, Radhe. Why? Because Kaviraj Goswami, this is from Govinda Lilamrita. Radhikara Prem Guru Ami Shishyanat Sada Amanana Nritya Nachayubhat. Radhika's love is my guru, and Vrinda Devi is saying, Vrinda Devi, who would know better than Vrinda Devi? Vrinda Devi is you could say, the goddess of the forest of Vrindavan. She knows every leaf, every creeper, every bough, every tree, every flower, every plant, every herb, every grass, every bird, every bee, every fruit. They're all her expansions. And so she sees that every tree has Radhe Radhe. Why? And every tree has Radhe Radhe in Vrindavan. Because every tree, Krishna is dancing and he's singing Radhe 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 Radhe. So this is not something artificial that just happened. In Vrindavan, nothing happens. Srila Prabhupada says, not a blade of grass moves without the will of Krishna. So in Vrindavan, that is much more so. In this world, he gives free will, but his own Vrindavan, Krishna's arranged Radhe 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 everywhere. And so therefore, the image of Sri Radha and her names are in every tree, every leaf, every branch, every creeper of Vrindavan Dham. Vrinda Devi is the witness of this. When Radharani asks, where is Krishna? He is dancing with every tree, every creeper, and everywhere he sees only your image. And hears your name, and therefore he's dancing. So Krishna is trying his best to solve Radharani's man, but it's very difficult. We hear sometimes when Radharani is in Mangad, the gopis are so strict, they won't let Krishna come inside to even beg forgiveness because he's done such a wrong. So they won't even let him go inside to beg forgiveness. So he sits nearby and does Radha Mantra. All day, Gocharan from morning to evening, they can't find Krishna. Where is Krishna? He didn't come home for dinner. He's chanting Gayatri Mantra. Until Radharani finally, Radharani is barricaded inside. She doesn't want to leave because then Krishna will see her. And so Krishna is doing a vrat. I will not move until Radharani comes out and gives me her darshan and mercy. Where is Krishna? 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Where is Krishna? Where is Radha? Man Lila. So it's described that finally one day, very soon after, Radhika is in her home Javat. And because her love is crooked, and because of her man, Krishna and Radha are not married. Even though Brishabhanu Maharaj, Kirtida, Nanda, Shoda, they all wanted Krishna and Radha to marry. But because of their crooked love, Radhika is married to Abhimanyu, who is it's described like a caricature almost. Abhimanyu is just like a statue, embodying like a specific kind of mood. You see like pictures of actors, like a carve out of like an actor, and they have this mood, that role. So this is Abhimanyu. He's like a sculpture of a particular mood, facilitating the pastime of Radha Krishna. An animated sculpture. He can never even come close to Srimati Radhika, but he's there to enhance the sweetness of their meeting. So Radhika is present in Javat, and she still has a bit of man, very strong. Radhika's man is very difficult to break, or sulky mood. So that's why in her smile, some of her sulky mood is present. So Krishna comes up with the idea how to become a beggar for prem. When Krishna has a problem he needs to solve, he takes shelter of who? Vishaka Devi. You see, Vishaka Devi is like merciful to Krishna. Lalita Devi is always Radha Paksha, Pragalba mood. In Lalitastakam, she'll tell Radharani, oh, Krishna will try to break your sulky mood, but never give in. Don't give in to Krishna. He's very tricky and he's very naughty. You should always remain in your sulky mood. But Vishaka Devi is very sweet and favorable to Krishna. She's very merciful. And so when Krishna takes shelter of Vishaka Devi, she helps him. And so she tells Krishna, you should dress as a sannyasi. You should wear makeup. Golden makeup. So Krishna, this is when he starts to practice becoming golden. And you should go to Javat as a Pakka sannyasi, Pakka brahmachari, renunciant, and knock on the door and ask for alms. In this way you can try to break her man. So Krishna goes as this sannyasi, he knocks on the door. This is the culture of a renunciant. Bhiksham dehi, bhiksham dehi. Give alms, give alms. We see this in Vedic tradition. Oh, for my guru's sake, I'm going and I'm begging alms. Krishna Sudama, they did this. Krishna Baladev in the ashram of Sandipuni Muni did this. They would go and they would beg alms. That's why as brahmacharis in the ashram, we also have to learn this. To beg for Sri Guru. To show our dedication, our humility. We would go and beg in Bengal. And they would be astonished. These Western people are coming into a village where there's not even a hand pump. And they're begging from us rice. Just a few grains. Like Krishna went for the fruit seller later. He'd only taken a few grains. We're only begging a few grains of rice. In a day we can make $1,000. You know, people going and they can work on Wall Street. But they go to Bengal, Prachar, and beg a few grains of rice in villages and they walk barefoot and they eat thick rice and they make sweet rice that's like a cup full of milk and 2 buckets of water. Because they don't have any money. But we learn to beg. And so Krishna, he is begging at the door of Javat. But who answers the door? Who answers the door? Jatila. And she sees this boy, she's, opposed to Krishna, antagonistic, but seeing this beautiful sannyasi, she doesn't know it's Krishna. Very beautiful sannyasi. Her heart's like a little bit charmed. She has, even though she's old, she still has a little of a fire. Seeing Krishna's beauty, oh, look at this handsome sannyasi. So Krishna is Bhiksham Dehi, give me alms, Bhiksham Dehi. Jatila's like, yes, I'll give you. Krishna says, no. I'll only take from a Kumari, someone who is like a pure young maiden. I won't take from, old is not cold, it's very hot. So, I only take so much fire. Jatila has so much fire. There's pastimes around this when they were trying to show that in Keshav Vrat, Krishna appeared as a Van Devata, and whoever would give him chandan on his body would get any desire they want fulfilled. And so Jatila and Kutila came and tried to bathe, to smear his chandan on him, and when they did it, their cloth caught on fire and they had to run and jump in the lake. Because so much calm inside. And so Krishna said, no. If you have any Kumari, very pure, very young, then she can give me alms. Must be completely pure of heart. And so Jatila went and told Radharani, oh, a sannyasi has come. And if a sannyasi comes to your door and you don't give alms, then a great calamity can come upon your family. Jatila was starting to get worried. He wouldn't accept from me. Our cows will perish and die. Our lands, our crops, everything will wither and die. Nothing will grow. Quickly, you must go. You're the only one he'll accept from.
Like if Durvasa were to come and you don't give him what he wants, we hear Ramchandra Leela, Durvasa was coming, and Lakshman had to let Durvasa enter, even though he had to give the highest sacrifice for that. So Jatila said, Radha, you must go. Radharani said, I won't go and see any man. I am Pati Stri, I am very chaste. But all the gopis then, Lalita, everyone, Jatila herself, they beg Radha, please go, please go, please go. It's very simple, just take a plate, a little rice, a little dal, aloo. I don't know if they have aloo there. Just take a few things and go and give this sannyasi. So Radharani, with great hesitation, trepidation, her heart is tremoring, thinking, is this right or not? She takes the plate and goes out to give alms. When we do Dwadasi Bhiksha in Mathura, everyone has their plate ready, and they know we're going to come, and they give a little bit of rice, a little bit of dal, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of ghee, and 1 or 2 vegetables, and 3-4 rupees. And they give you the plate. And they wait and they make that plate ready all week. That they're going to come on Dwadasi and take alms and give it to Krishna. So it's a great service to beg alms because it gives people, without any of their own large effort, like a madhukari. Renunciant ashram means we are madhukaris. Like bees take a teeny bit of nectar from every flower and collect it. So Krishna is begging madhukari. So Radhika comes out and is about to give the plate to the sannyasi. And she's not looking. But the sannyasi says, no, I don't want this plate. I have not come here for these items. And Radhika, she's a little bit taken aback and looks. And seeing the sannyasi, immediately her heart, starts to beat faster. She understands, her pulse quickens. And she's holding on to her man tightly under Lalita Devi's instruction. Don't give in. Hold that man. Like tug of war. Krishna is trying to pull, but hold. You are more powerful. Don't give in. But Krishna, with a very sweet smile, he says, I've not come for these things. I've only come for your man. Please give me your prem. I am a beggar for your prem. If you are not pleased with me, I will give up my life. Oh Radhe, if you do not give me your sulky mood, your man, if you do not accept me as your own, I will give up my life. So Radharani, in this mixed state of emotion, Kila Kinchit Bhav, she takes the plate full of oil and sugar and rice and dal and flour. They also give flour. And she throws it all on Krishna's head. And so Krishna gets abhishek. Rice, dal, sugar, ghee, flour, bas, everything, sabji, fruit, everything, bas, dump. And Krishna is smiling. When he gets abhishek, Krishna is so happy. So Krishna has a huge smile. Thank you, Radhe, offers pranam and Hari Bol. Radharani, with this expression of giving this to Krishna, she gave her man also. So therefore, Krishna achieved this love of Srimati Radhika, and he learned that if you want to get Radhika's mood, you must become like her. Mukunda Brata Koile Nirdharan. This is what it means to be sannyasi. I take a vow to be one-pointed in the service of Sri Krishna, like Srimati Radhika. Then I can be a sannyasi. So when you take sannyas, you are only given the Gopi Bhav mantra in our sampradaya. Taking shelter of the Braja Gopis, who are the topmost sannyasis, Pati Sutanvaya, Bratri Bandhavan, Ati Vilangate, Anta Chutagata. Giving up everything for Krishna, only to please him, they run to him. Without worrying about anything. I will be rejected from society, I will be chastised, criticized. Even to this day, people will criticize, but they had no concern for that. Only Gare na jaibo vane praveshibo olilara seratare Tyaji kula laj baja braja raj vinoda minati kore. For the sake of achieving this prem, Tyaji kula laj, I'll give up the shyness of attachment to family and home. Tyaji kula laj baja braja raj, I'll worship that Prince of Braj, Shri Krishna. This is the prayer of Vinod. Vinod Minati Kori.
Jamuna puline kadamba kanane ki heri no saki aja. This is the scene that is being painted here. This is the meditation of Kam Gayatri. And to achieve that, if we want that, then Tyaji kula laja bhaja braja raj vinodami nati kare. Therefore, this is the mood of the gopis. This is the sannyas song. When Krishna becomes a sannyasi. And this is the sannyas song. That's why Krishna, when he becomes a sannyasi, he also leaves home. I will become one-pointed. Mukunda brata koilin nirdharan. I will become completely one-pointed. That's why every day we sing. Shirupa manjari pada se mora sampada se mora bhajana pujana se brata se tapa se mora mantra japa se mora jivana jivana se mora jivana jivana. To achieve that highest thing, this is my vrat, this is my tap, this is my mantra, this is my japa, this is my dharma, this is my puja, this is my everything. Shirupa Manjari Pada. That's why here on this altar, Shri Radha Krishna, Lalita Vishaka, Shirupa Manjari, Shri Rati Manjari. Then Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and our Guru Varga. All the Manjaris. In Shamari Mataji's painting, all Guru Varga is hiding and present. Nikunjara Dwari Dwari Rohibo Go, as Narottam Das Thakur sings, looking through the Kunj to see the pastimes of Radha Krishna. So Lalita Vishaka protecting always. When Lalita Vishaka are in a temple, they're always protecting and making everything harmonized and sweet. Lalita protecting, Vishaka nourishing and guiding. And Rupa and Rati teaching us the service of Srimati Radhika. Shiru, Prabhuji mentioned this verse. He said, take shelter of this verse. Shri Rupa Manjari Kararchita Pada Padma Gostendra Nandana Gujarti Tamastakaya Ha Moditra Kanaka Gori Padaravinda Samvahanani Sanakaistava Kim Karishye Vilakusa Manjari. Oh Shri Rupa Manjari, when Srimati Radhika's head is resting on your thigh, and with your hand you're massaging her head, and Krishna is also massaging your hand, sometimes massaging your feet. Sometimes Srimati Radhika's head is Krishna's lap, and Rupa Manjari, Sri Rupa Manjari Kararchita Pada Padma. Sri Rupa Manjari is massaging Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. Oh Sri Rupa Manjari, when will you be merciful upon me? Rati Manjari is praying this as Raghunath Das Goswami in Vilapus Manjari. That's why Rati Manjari is also present. That's why Guru Maharaj is present, also indicating in this direction. Rati Manjari is praying, Oh Rupa Manjari, when will you give me your merciful prasad, remnants of your service? And I will be able to serve the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. Tam Radhikam Paricharami Kadarasena. When will that topmost ras of the deep Paricharami, the deep loving worship. Paricharami means the highest limit of loving worship and service. When will I have that chance to serve Srimati Radhika's lotus feet? When Krishna Venu Karani Paditam Skalitam Sikandam Prastam Chapita Vasanam Brajaraj Yasya Kataksha Saragata Vimorchitasya Tam Radhikam Paricharami Kadarasena. Therefore we take shelter of Shri Rupa Manjari, Shri Rati Manjari, Shri Guru Maharaj and our Guru Varga, and pray that this is not a cheap thing. That's why we say Harikata. Speaking these things, we're not qualified. So many desires, material desires are there. But we have faith in our Guru Maharaj. We have faith in his instruction that certainly there must be some seed of this potentiality. Therefore we take shelter and we pray to him. When will this manifest in my heart? And therefore with great seriousness, dhira mood, with deep sobriety, we perform the path of sadhana in Guru Seva, following all rules and regulations of Vaidhi. If you want the highest thing, you must be the most serious to attain it. Therefore, don't take it cheaply. That means sahajya. Take it cheaply. Oh, I can talk about this, I can talk about that, and I can do this, and I can do that, but no seriousness. If you want the highest thing, you must be the most serious. Therefore, we take shelter of Shri Radha Manju, Vrindavaneshwari Srimati Radhika, her very dearmost friend, Shri Lalita Shaki, Shri Vishaka Devi, and Shri Rupa, Shri Rati, and Guru Maharaj, and the Guru Varga, and pray to them for their blessings and for their shelter, and for the chance and for the ability to please them in our lives by ultimately achieving their mood in our heart. I know it's getting late, so we'll just do it quickly. Kotai go Pranamoi, and downward rest. Kotai go Pranamoi, Radhe Radhe. Kotai go Pranamoi, Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe go jai, Radhe Radhe.